we are back with a Dragon's Lair. It has been a while since we've done these. I have a video that I've been working on. I got to edit on Paradox. Unfortunately, certain things happened last couple days that kind of changed how I was going to do some structures. And today there was some unforeseen events that delayed me. So instead of doing a gaming stream, we're going to talk about one of the articles that I was trying to put to a video until the disastrous event took place. And yes, my face has been a while. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. I don't have a bell. I don't have a triangle. I don't have anything like that, like Kino Casino, because otherwise I feel like I would be doing the triangle today. Best part is, so before we start this, I'm going to be speaking with an individual that will be able to shed some more light on this with me, hopefully. So I'll get some more information on this to clarify it a little bit better for those that don't understand legalese and the ramifications that it can impact. So today's very beginning article, which I'm not a big fan of IGN, as we know, but IGN has it. There's a lot of them. So if you've not been paying attention, Nintendo patented summoning. That's right, boys and girls. They patented summoning. So all those games, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest V, all those could be under fire. And we could see problems in the gaming industry. Now, there has been controversial debate about this patent. And some people are like, well, they're just defending their Pokemon IP. No. So long story short, Nintendo is throwing whatever they can in patents to try to stop Palworld. They did it. They were trying to patent mounts, flying mounts that didn't transition to something else on the ground. So they were trying to do that, which would impact games like WoW, Final Fantasy 14, any MMO that pretty much has a flying mount that basically, okay, we have a dragon or something and it doesn't do anything other than land. So it's something that makes me just go, just accept the fact Palworld did way better than Pokemon. They made a survival game that everybody likes. Palworld made a shit ton of money. Do better. That's all you gotta do. Do better. Make a better game. I understand you want to protect your IP. I get that. But trying to patent every single mechanic, I'm waiting for jump or walking. So that way Death Stranding, the walking simulator, could also, be violation of patent because, all these characters walk. I mean, it's stupid. And Little Gamer says, holy hell, didn't I expect to be bald? I've always been bald. What are you talking about? I've always been bald. What are you talking about? My family has always been bald. Well, I'm bald, but yeah. Let me see if I can get the chat to open up a little bit more. Let me see. There we go. And Andraka says, I feel like I'm hearing about T-Wow. Yeah. Voice doesn't match the mental image. Hey, I'm young in spirit, damn it. That's all that matters. Anyway, so a lot of people, even lawyers, an IP lawyer is saying that they shouldn't have received the controversial summon character and let it fight Pokemon patent in America because it's basically revolves around summoning a character and letting it fight. And the patent trademark accepted without any objection in Nintendo, which is stupid because they're first time somebody explained Nintendo and Banderas. Yes. I seriously doubt that. Anyway, so this is going to impact Persona, Elden Ring, all these. And I have no idea why my dog's chirping. I have no idea. Do you want to be on cameras while I talk so you don't bark? Come here. Come here. Come here. All right. This is my buddy, Charlie. He's my co-host today, apparently. He's like, why am I a co-host all of a sudden? Because what are you doing here? What are you doing to me? What? Hi, guys. How you doing? How's everybody? All right, buddy. All right. You just hang out here. Okay. What? You can speak in the mic if you want. You can talk to him. It's okay. But you want to be in showbiz, right? What? Didn't you want to be in snow business? Aw. Okay. Okay, buddy. All right, so depending on how it's interpreted, the patent, this could impact a lot of games. Nintendo basically claiming sovereignty over anything that could be considered summoning. And the patent, Games Trace said the patent was filed in 2023, and it covers the technique that Pocket Pair tried to work around. And it does threat creativity in the industry, kind of like the Nemesis system that Warner Brothers copyrighted or filed a patent on. So the Nemesis system, which was a really, really great system for characters remembering what you did to them in the past, which made the Lord of the Rings game really cool. Well, you can't have anything like that in most games because Warner Brothers took that patent. And it takes a long time for a patent to expire. So, anytime a game company patents, and there's a lot of patents out there. So you have to be careful when you're doing a game. You have to do all the research on patents because, unfortunately, game companies like to try to say they own something. And sometimes it's a universal thing that's been around since the 70s or 80s. It's like when the Fine brothers tried to patent reaction or whatever, so they could try to corner that market, and it didn't work out too well. In fact, they got so much backlash it wasn't funny. A lot of people don't know about Nintendo. I'm gonna put you down, buddy. A lot of people don't know about this Nintendo thing, just because a lot of times people don't pay attention to news when it comes to Nintendo, such as the Switch raising prices again and the Switch 2 raising prices again, and them saying, well, it's because of this, or blah 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 blah. We're just gonna go with the standard blah 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 for this, especially ever since they said if you can't afford Switch 2, we always have Switch 1s in stock. Okay, you just raised price on it. How's that logical? If they couldn't afford the Switch 2, they're probably not going to afford the Switch 1 now. Logic. But anyway, so Jin has at least a decent article on it. There's several others out there, and one of my sources said it could be bad for Final Fantasy XIV with the summoner class because of how it's summoned. Now, courtesy of Archer, who looked this patent up in Soul Ash 2 because he was trying to find out if his necromancy was safe or not, because he's working on the necromancer class to summon pets and stuff. He did find the US patent. This was, as you can see, the date of the patent was September 2nd. So, yeah. So this is the confusing part, which is why I am trying to speak to a lawyer to define this out in simplified form of what this means, the ramifications, pretty much standard off the record kind of thing. So we can kind of break this down for you guys in deeper detail. But you can look this up on the US patent website. It's there. You got the patent number here. But the abstract is an information processed in that moves a character on a field based on the movement operation character on the field based on the first operation input. When an enemy character is placed at the location where the sub-character is caused to appear, the information processing system controls a battle by the first mode in which the battle proceeds based on an operation input. Just the language alone will make your eyes glaze over and you're like, what the hell is this? To break this down a little further, this basically means the enemy and the summon are in the same area and they're doing battle. The information process system controls a battle by the first mode in which the battle proceeds based on operation. When the enemy processing system starts automatically moving the sub-character, the information process system moves the sub-character based on the second operation input, and when the enemy character is placed at a location of designation, the information processing system controls the battle and by a second mode in which the battle automatically proceeds. So think of Final Fantasy 12 when you summon Ifrit or something. Literally, your characters vanish. You take control of Ifrit. Ifrit has inputs. He's fighting the enemies. This could easily describe that. Problem is, a lot of other games could describe that too. Now, scrolling down on the drawing sheets, they did try to draw, and they did throw. You can see on here, there's a little ball. It looks like they're throwing. So they're basically trying to bring this out a little bit more, and we're going to zoom in a little bit here so you can see this data a little bit more. Let's bring this up here to magnify this for everybody. All right, there you go. Do you feel like this is how you describe when you poop in the morning? It feels like stereo instructions. Step 1, go to toilet. Step 2, sit on toilet. Step 3, crap, profit, something like that. I don't know. But this shows basically the character data, possessed character, possessed item, character's position, then the sub character's appearance state. So basically what they're trying to do is describe Pokemon here, but the language of this patent is far from Pokemon, but they do have the Pokemon here. So this could be something that could defend a lot of games that say, we're not Pokemon. This is literally Pokemon. So they have a lot more documents here. And of course they're thrown in the Switch, which hopefully this doesn't mean anything for PCs. I don't know why they put that in here. I'm more focused on this. So then this is where they show the battle, capture, escape. Okay, so this could be essentially commands like Final Fantasy or whatever, but they basically copyright a lot of their patented their Pokemon games. They ran that shit through ChatGPT. Yes, probably. So then they're showing like this automatically. This isn't the pictures, but as you can see, this is in the patent. So they're trying to show, okay, well, this Pokemon's gonna fight. Here's Ash Ketchum or something, telling him what to do or some crap, and like characters. Problem is, this paints a better picture. The schematics showing, okay, man, it's Pokemon, but they're also trying to throw that at Pal World. And then you can see here, like, wanting it. Okay, so this is Pokemon at this point. Now, here's where the mess gets. We got to scroll down to the next page because there's a lot of crap. Okay, so this is their breakdown operation. Field processing, then move character, control enemy, have player and enemy come in contact with each other. They hold hands, whatever the case may be. They end the battle, processing. Is operation being confirmed? As you can see, it loops. Is enemy character within predetermined distance? Cancel selection, determine selection. Throwing motion is probably the only thing that's probably going to be the saving grace for a lot of games, unless you're like Elden Ring or some where you have to throw or slam down an object to summon. This could be interpreted a lot of different ways. Probably they're not going to win against a lot of games though with the throwing, but the fact that they are patenting this in the United States puts a lot of squeeze on a lot of the old games that used to summon or create things, depending on how they go. They do have the motion of the throwing ball toward the front, and then motion throwing the ball toward enemy character. At least there's some technicalities to it. So then it goes forward with the character, the appearance state, target movement. Then they talk about the sub-character appearance. So that'd be like your summon. So you summon Ifrit, and then you use Ifrit to target your selection. And is there a target object range? Basically, I'm thinking Final Fantasy 12 all over again here. Set position front as target position, set position as enemy, stuff that you do in Final Fantasy 12. And then the ending sequence. And then they have the sub character, the movement, target selection. This is where it gets dicey, in my opinion, because now we're not talking about the ball being thrown. We're talking about sub character movement, which is your summons. So, as you can see, this gets convoluted. Do I think this is the end for summoning in games? No. Do I think this patent probably should not have been approved? It probably shouldn't have. But going back up here, the saving grace, in my opinion, is the motion of throwing the ball. So the only real one that they're probably trying to target, in my opinion, is Pal World. They're throwing anything they can and see what sticks. They're not trying to... I don't agree that Nintendo's trying to wipe out summoning or anything. I don't think they're, in my opinion, I don't think their legal team is thinking it entirely through, interpreting this. It's trying to be a one-stop fix-all thing, but I don't agree with how this is designed, because this one particularly here, in my opinion, does cause problems for people that have summons. But if your summons are automatically just doing their fight and you don't have no control on them, like in Soul Ash 2 or a few others, and they just do their thing, you probably can get away with it. I mean, Power World, technically, you don't really tell the characters to do anything either. So, but they do have the throwing mechanic, or they did. Do I think that this will impact gaming entirely? Yes and no. It just depends on interpretation. Could this create a bigger problem? 100%. I don't think it's going to be something that's noticeable right now. I think this is strictly a Power World versus Nintendo, but the ramifications are there. And there's stuff that's very similar to this in like Final Fantasy XIV's summoning. So, how this all plays out, I really don't know. I just think this was probably the worst thing to get approved, though, especially when we're talking about summoning. And as you can see, further breakdown here, there's more schematics in battle, all that. And then determining allies, the battle processes with their sub-character. And then as we go down further, this is the background summary. Conventionally is a game in which a plurality of characters battle with each other, a technique of progressing a battle by causing a character to perform a motion corresponding to a command designated by a player has been known during such a game. If in addition to a battle by a method, which commands are used, a battle by another method is enabled, variation of battle can be increased. Therefore, the present application discloses a storage medium, an information processing system, information apparatus, and a game processing method that enables battles performed by a plurality of methods. So they break this down, and like I said, it reads like stereo instructions. So I wanted to touch base on this because I feel like it can and can't impact gaming when it comes to summoning. I do not like this patent. I think it's going to hurt gaming, and I don't think they understand that you may be going after Power World because you're trying to protect Pokemon, but there has been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games that have been out that have that kind of thing. And that part is what worries me. I don't really have anything else to really talk about this portion of it, because it's just legal garbage and basically make your head spin. Because I mean, we don't have the basics. We have like 45 pages explaining when the ball hits the enemy. So they got provisions within provisions within provisions. So it's read it if you want. If you can read 45 pages of this, kudos to you, because holy crap, it makes my head hurt. I mean, this is what a patent looks like, guys, a lot of times. So if you've never seen a patent, yeah, this is basically what it is. And it's, filed with the courts. You can read it up on the US patents. And we're just scrolling back up here. And yeah, as you can see, the applicants, the inventor, and size. And basically it is just trying to protect Pokemon. But I don't know how it's going to impact everything else. It'll be interesting. Let's just say this is going to be an interesting situation, and I really don't know what to think. And hopefully the person I'm going to talk to will shed a lot more light and have a lot more highlights and breakdown. I plan on taking quite a bit of notes so we can do a recap of this once I talk with him. But this was a video I wanted to make yesterday when I got the news, but then we had unfortunate news that happened, and that kind of changed plans. So, well, I don't. Okay, AI is everywhere, guys. AI is taking over the world. Okay, let me switch to the other one. I gotta find which one it is. So this is one of the things. This was the catalyst that started the Grand Hunt. So this is on game industry. Nintendo patents in-game character summonings to battle others. It's an uncontested patent that could now pose a fundamental threat to creativity and innovation in the industry. And they break it down saying there must be a PC, console, or community device, and the game is stored on a drive. You can move a character. So they're basically trying to break down the patent that we just went through that looks like stereo instructions. And a lot of them have believed that this was to go after Power World in their current litigation that's going on right now. However, this will impact many, many other games potentially. And more than likely, Nintendo's not going to go after it, but the problem is also Nintendo may want royalties. So that's a possibility. Hopefully not, but bottom line, folks, I think patenting game mechanics, especially game mechanics that have been around since the dawn of time, is probably pretty much the stupidest thing that I've ever seen. Opinion, like I said, somebody's gonna argue, oh, you're just trying to protect the IP. There's different ways to protect the IP. This is a game mechanic that's been around for way before Pokemon. I don't know what to think. So what's your guys' thoughts in chat? I know some of you guys are in there. I'm curious to see what you guys think on this chat, because it's an interesting situation. I don't know really what to think on it. Overall, I think we're opening ourselves up for a freaking disaster. But could be wrong. So the other conversation, mostly I am going to say this much. I don't think we've seen the end of Nintendo trying to patent stuff. I really don't. Until this lawsuit gets settled, I think it's going to never be a never-ending battle. It's a pain in the ass. Really is. Really, really is. So the other thing we're going to talk about here, and I'm going to go ahead and flip over to that for you guys. I have a video coming out hopefully in the next couple days. I need to finish editing on it, but we're going to talk a little bit about it tonight. DLCs. I think DLCs are probably one of the worst things that we've had happen to us in the gaming industry. I really do. And I'm probably going to be rehashing this again. But my problem with DLCs is when you release a game, the game should be out. You should have a wait time. So, November 4th, Europa Universalis 5 is coming out. I'm looking forward to it. You have a $60 base game, but if you want all the DLCs coming, you're going to have to spend $85. Of course, they did throw out a lot of dev diaries to try to quell, but literally right at the gate, oh, well, you'll instantly get these decoration sacred sites. These flavor packs that enhance the game are coming out in Q2, Q3, and Q4. So if you don't get it now, you're going to basically pay more. And I don't like this kind of method. And as you can see, it saves 20% on the premium edition compared to buying the base game and the DLC sold separately. I am just not a fan of this, guys. I love Paradox. I love a lot of the games, but I also get frustrated at Paradox because this is just, in my opinion, poor marketing. You already have a game that will sell, especially with today's game prices. Still, $60 is pretty reasonable for a project they've worked on for quite a while. Doesn't, mean I approve of the fact that we're doing this. And there's a lesson to be had here. There was a game, Vampires the Masquerade Bloodlines, that was getting ready to come out. And let's just right there. We'll go ahead and go here and show you guys. This one is coming out in October. They have different tiers for the game. This is what pissed a lot of people off. If you want access to 2 other playable vampire clans and the training and outfits, you're going to have to pay the premium. So you don't get all the clans with the base game. They're locking you out here. Now, after a lot of outcry and outrage, I guess they refunded everybody on Sony PlayStation. I don't know what they did with Steam, but apparently the marketing team had a major backlash on X and other feedback. So apparently they're trying to fix this problem and try to address it and come up with something different. I'm glad they're listening, but there's no reason to add $90 to add 2 other clans to a game when that should be part of the base game, especially if you're a fan of Vampire the Masquerade. It blew my mind when I saw that. But I think there's a happy ending on this one, but it's this type of stuff that scares potential customers away. And like I said, as much as I love Paradox and I'm a Paradox fanboy, what scares me here is watching them basically go the route of Ubisoft. And as we all know, Ubisoft doesn't have a very good track record when it comes to how they price their games and what they add and the disasters that happen. So I just don't want Paradox to go down that route because they are one of the few companies that produce really good strategy games. And they've also produced a few other games that aren't strategy, but that's my big gripe for the day about this. And then You know, DLCs, Steam bundles them up later on as it gets older, so the price still is higher than normal, but you get them bundled, so it's cheaper. I do wish if it's been a year at least, a lot of these DLCs that build upon each other were just included in the base game at that point. You've paid for it, it's been a year, just add it in the base game and be done with it. You know, you've got a lot of the people that already paid for it ahead of time. You know, there's got to be some type of better thing because it scares off potential buyers. That's the big thing that I've worried about here. Let's take a look. For example, if we do Crusader Kings 3, great game, I love it, really great simulator. If I were to buy the game right now without the season passes and everything, you're looking at you know, you can buy the bundles here. This one here, this whole collection is $171. $171. It's on sale 40% off at 101. But if I had a friend that wanted to get Crusader Kings 3 right now, this price tag right here is going to scare the shit out of them because they're not even going to know if the game's worth it to them. I mean, yeah, they have a sale going on because of the strategy right now. But look at the price base game. Base game's still $50. It's on a sale right now. This is the type of crap that scares people when it comes to looking at new games. You see this and you're like, holy shit, I'm going to spend this much on it? $190? Yeah. You know, that's what scares people. I mean, Europa, I could show you that one. That's like $400. It's there needs to be something a little different here. Even this bundle here, still, without it being on sale, is $171. I don't know anybody that's gonna spend $171 on a game. Yeah, that's true, gamer. Thank goodness not everybody has to have the DLC for multiplayer. But could you imagine if they did? Not that I'm trying to give them ideas. Now, they also have somewhere that you can rent. Maybe they don't have it for Crusader Kings 3, but in Europa, you can rent it. I'll show you that one. This is my gripe. This is my biggest pet peeve with these games. All right, so here's the base game, Europa Universalis Sport. You know the new one's coming out, but it's still $50. Price has not went down. The base price. You can pay $8 a month to get all the DLCs, a subscription. That, in my opinion, sucks. Because I'm like, everybody's trying to charge rents, and let's not give Ubisoft ideas about renting, because God forbid that's going to be the next thing Ubisoft does. Yeah, I know, gamer. It's not worth 50 anymore because 5's coming out in 2 months. But now here's the sticker shock for you, ladies and gentlemen. $375. $375 if you get all the DLCs by hand. Right now. On top of the base game. You can buy the Ultimate Edition for $203 right now. $203. Yep. This is what scares, like I said, this is what scares people off from looking at this stuff. What's more than Grand Theft Auto 5 or 6 or whatever the hell one's? Yeah, 6 that's coming out. Well, I'm not actually in the workshop. We're just kind of covering it. So another one. This is a frustration because this is another one that's a really good game. Granted, there's season passes, so you can get like 3 or 4 games, and they offer a last chance to get it all. But let me get this. So, Age of Wonders, $50 for the base game. If you're to buy everything by hand, $124, ladies and gentlemen. You can buy it for $90 right now for pretty much everything here. Actually, I was wrong. No, ladies and gentlemen, I was wrong. This is all the old DLC, so $90 plus. Looks like this is the new season. So base game plus season. So you're still probably looking about $40 at least for the current DLCs. It's pricey, guys. That's why a lot of people wait for the Steam sales and they pick up what they can. And to me, that's frustrating. As somebody that, like I said, that loves Paradox, it's really hard to get somebody into the game. And then also when you see stuff like this, you see negative reviews like this. Stellaris. Anyone would guess how much money you're paying on Stellaris? $40 for the base game, that's reasonable. You can rent it for $10 a month, all the DLCs. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. All the DLCs total $404. You can do the bundles up here. You can do the ultimate bundle, which is 27% off all 25 items. So it can be yours for $274. Or you can pay $90 for some of the DLCs. Plus base game. That's painful, guys. This was one of my biggest gripes about it. If you're wanting to bring new people into the gaming market, especially Grand Strategy, you gotta really look at how you're marketing differently. Like I said, I love Paradox, I love their games, but this scares the hell out of people. This really does. Meanwhile, this has been going almost 10 years, hasn't charged a single price, hasn't charged a single new update price. It's been almost 10 years. No Man's Sky, $60. They have had so many updates. They have had so many. Technically, they could have had DLCs. They added a whole brand new ship, building, and everything. They've added so much stuff to this game in the last 9 years, and they haven't asked for a freaking dime. $60. I don't know how they keep developing their stuff and not charging anything new. I really don't. But they still get new players. You're bringing new people into the market. There's and then what about UH? What's UH? Yeah, what is UH gamer? Space Engineer? Let me find out. Do they have any DLCs? I have never played Space Engineer, so I don't know. We'll look at Engineers too, I guess. Oh, I don't see any DLCs on it. Nope. This was released this year. I don't. Well, actually, no. Bundle Space Engineers 1 and Space Engineers 2. Yeah. They really haven't done any DLCs. Really? Space Engineer has that many DLCs? Let's take a look. Well, it's not as expensive as Paradox, but $87. Holy shit. You can get the ultimate bundle for $92. That's spicy. That's very Very spicy. Damn. Yeah, a lot of them are reduced price, but still, it's pretty damn expensive. That is really expensive. And like I said, this isn't anything about trying to shit on any game companies or anything. This is just about DLCs pricing and how a lot of times they price their competition. They price themselves out of the competition. I mean, there's a whole bunch of these here. This one. So, fun story about this game. They've already nerfed it because I guess people are having a hard time with it. $20. People were bitching about the game being $20. That it was too low. And that they were pissed because a lot of developers don't know how to price their game with a complete game here for $20. There's an old saying, if you build it, they will come. They're making money off the game. It's a small developing team. They're making money on it. You don't need to price stuff $70, $80, $90, $100 to make money. Your overhead just may be too much. You may have overpaid executives. You may have too many duties to board members or shareholders or something that's causing you to have to outprice your games. This is a very good game from everybody that I've seen. Still very positive, 91%. So yeah. And I've seen a lot of people playing this and streaming this. And apparently a lot of people love it. It's amazing what you see when it comes to price pointing. I remember Valheim when it came out. It wasn't outlandishly priced. Granted, it took them a very long time because they didn't expect their demand to explode. But, you know, let's see. Where is it on here? They just had an update, so maybe. No, I don't see it. Digimon came out at $70. Helldivers is $40. We got some free to play. Dying Light, the new game coming out, is $60. So, let's see what that is. I don't see it. And they're getting ready to release out of into 1.0, so the game will be out of early access. So who knows what the price point would be? I mean, I guess we could look it up, but my point is, the game companies do price themselves out or scare the hell out of people. Oh, City Skylines 1 DLC is insane. I mean, let me pull up Paradox here. Yes, go back here. City Skylines 2. Yeah, City Skylines 1's $30. It's been that way for 10 years. I can't complain too much. Let's check the DLCs. Wow. Wow. That's as bad as Sims 4. I guess you can buy all items for $146. You can also subscribe to it for 3 months, $10 a month, or $20 for 3 months. Wow. Wow. I I don't even know what to say. I feel like I'm kind of broken here. What City Skylines 2 look like? $65 for the DLCs. They have a season pass, Ultimate Edition 90. I heard this one was nowhere near as good, and obviously I can tell it's just nowhere near as good. Puncher's amazing game has proper lane curve. If you're interested in city builders, you should try it out. I've heard of it. I don't do a lot of city builders too much, but no, Borderlands has got 58% reviews. Wow, I didn't expect that. That's we're gonna be higher. Yeah, that's kind of that's some subjects I wanted to talk about today, especially when it comes to pricing yourself out of competition. I just it's unreal. I'm still blown by City Skylines being $420 for DLCs. I wow. Hey Chaos, you're obsessed with city builders. Also checking Borderlands 4 out. I've heard so far mixed, but yeah, let me know if you like it, Chaos. Imperium Universalis. Okay, so is it charging? Is it money related, gamer, or what is it you're wanting me to look at? Let me take a look. If I can pull up the mod. I don't know if I can with this route. Don't think I can. Let me see. You really want me to look at it? Okay, let's see. I think I got it here. Mm-hmm. No way. Okay. Yeah, you're talking about it's BC. Somebody made a mod back in early BC. So you have all this stuff here. I mean, I'm not sure what you want me to look at. I mean, it's got good. It's got 5 stars on it, but I'm not sure what you want me to look at here for. It has a dev version which gets updates. Oh, huh. Yeah, I don't really see anything there. Ah, well, we heard perfection before. There was a WB move or a TV show on DC. It looks like Risk. And let's see. Draka says, "Who knew remaking the same damn game doing the same thing isn't always the best maneuver?" Yeah, I'm sure they'll have Butt Stallion again. Butt Stallion for the win, right? Well, we'll see how the Universalist 5 does. I'm very intrigued to see what happens there. That's more what I'm looking at right now. Since I don't have a big enough channel or CCV or anything, I didn't get invited into Europa Universalis 5 for testing or talking about it, so didn't really get that luxury. But hopefully, sometime in the future, we'll be way bigger and we'll be able to do that. And Chaos says, Queen Butt Stallion. Butt Stallion says hello. Let's see. Is there any other thing I want to talk about today? It's kind of an improv. This one actually intrigues me. You know, I may want to. I kind of want to check out this one here. So maybe we might get this one. It comes out September 18th, but we'll see. And Little Gary says, "Are you excited to give Paradox your life savings?" No. 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 We'll see. I know Blazing has asked me if I was gonna play an RPG ever or do any of that. I might do Dying Light for you guys at some point. Never finished Dying Light 1 or 2. Maybe we'll go through all of them and then do the Beast. It depends on what it is. Just to kind of go through the motions, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll just jump into Dying Light, the Beast, and see what that does. It kind of mixed mesh. We'll see what happens there. Anyway, tonight was a short stream due to real life stuff happening that was unforeseen. I definitely wanted to cover some news. I was going to jump into some gaming, following it up, but it's 10 o'clock now, and time we start anything, we'd be have to be done in about an hour-ish. Tomorrow we'll have a lot more free time. And Dying Light 2 was almost hard pass until I got a certain part that had me hit me up after stream. Yeah, I'll hit you up after stream, Draka. I love it when games don't sell you a shell and then extort you for the meat. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out on stream for the Dragon Slayer talk show. It was one of those things I definitely wanted to talk about. We may break this up into a few short videos. I have another video that I'm editing. Like I said, unforeseen stuff that happened yesterday kind of kept me from getting all the other stuff done I wanted to. And everybody, be safe. Hope you have a great Friday. And we'll be back tomorrow at 8 Eastern. I may start earlier to make up for tonight. We'll see. And it will have a certain choice game. I'm not sure which one we're going to do yet. This week's been a whirlwind, so it's like, so just stay tuned. We'll have stuff for you guys. We'll have entertainment for you. And yeah, sorry for the impromptu. I didn't quite have all my widgets and gadgets up here tonight. I was not ready. And that's why there was a delay. There was some family issues I had to address, so that shit gets rough sometimes. Anyway, much love for you guys. See you tomorrow. Peace.